We are game number 2 on Akalon Waste.
Of course, in the bottom right-hand location, we have the red Terran player who is currently down by 1 game, 1-0. He is from Team Prime and has a wealth of experience in MLG. He needs your support. He is MarineKing Prime. And his opponent in the top left-hand location, showing very convincing play in game number 1 to take down his opponent. Still got to win 2 more to get to the next round. He is the blue Terran player from NS Hoseo. He is Jjakji.
Jjakji looked very convincing in game number 1, but we have to remember that a lot of that was just extremely solid defense, and MarineKing put himself in a position where he had to get damage done. Looking at game number 2, will MarineKing say, you know what, Jjakji is so darn good, this aggressive, try to knock him out early style may not be the right approach. Perhaps I should play more macro-focused opening as well.
You know, I think that's a great point. You know, game 1 in a best of 5. You think about what these players, you know, are thinking through when they're like, all right, what build do I want to go for in game 1? Game 1 gives you room because it's a best of 5. You have some real estate to work with. MarineKing wanted to go for that hyper-aggressive play and try to take Jjakji off guard with that 4 Hellion medevac drop with those Ignite Afterburners. You got to think that works a large percentage of the time. But Jjakji was ready. He had Marines. He had Hellions in his main base. He knew that medevac was coming. He was able to fend it off. MarineKing was not able to get a lot of damage done. MarineKing had a fall back and then come up with the follow-up push that didn't end up working. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what MarineKing has in store for us. Does he stay on 1 gas? Does he invest into those 2 gases and really try to go for that tech, that aggressive tech path again? Or will we see a more economic focused MarineKing Prime?
Well, he still did get the gas considerably faster than Jjakji this game. Jjakji's actually doing the build a little bit different this game where he delayed his gas a lot, but he's still getting the gas before his expansion. He also scouted very early out, checking for proxies, knowing that MarineKing has been known to proxy barracks before in just about every matchup. So Jjakji's getting the gas later, which means he does want to get that command center. I think we're going to see, again, probably, again, that same reactor build. This time, though, he's getting 2 Marines before the reactor, perhaps afraid of an early Reaper, perhaps just wanting to make sure that an SCV couldn't get in and make sure he can deny all scouting information from MarineKing.
Gosh, we're seeing very similar things from these 2 players. Of course, I think the 2 Marines mainly to try to deny that scouting SCV from getting any additional information. Jjakji placing that natural expansion right down there. There's that second command center. And of course, his opponent, MarineKing, adding on that second gas, adding on that factory. So MarineKing, once again, going to be going for some sort of 1 base aggressive play. And there's that start point. It's like a very similar build here from MarineKing, to be honest.
It looks exactly the same from MarineKing. From Jjakji, the difference, though, is that he's playing even more economically focused, putting that command center on the low ground. Of course, that means he's going to have slightly stronger economy, but it also means there'll be multiple spots for that drop to hit. It's a little bit of extra vulnerabilities, but we saw last game he was able to cover both his natural and his main very convincingly from all the attacks MarineKing tried to put on him early. Again, Jjakji also has this SCV sneakily hiding on the right side of the map.
Yep.
What he's going to do is he's going to wait until about, well, it looks like about right now. He's going to send that in, and he's got time to try to figure out exactly knowing when the Hellions leave the base, to sneak in behind him, or to sneak in perhaps after all 4 during a drop, to see if MarineKing's expanding behind it, if he can get in there and see if there's a tech lab on the factory, or what MarineKing is following up the build with. That's the entire point of the SCV. It's an extremely efficient scout, much cheaper than a scan or a Reaper.
You know, that area is also where, medevac would likely fly on by. So before that point, he could always be looking out for that. But now the SCV is going in at exactly the 6-minute mark. MarineKing going for the same thing, but the SCV is going to spot the medevac.
Oh, Marines are firing, but it sees everything.
Oh, he sees the star point.
It sees absolutely everything. Yet again, he knows exactly what's going on. The Hellions to the front, repelled by the bunker with the Marine. Jjakji's remaining forces are ready to defend wherever the medevac goes. He brought him back to the front when he saw the Hellions at the front, but assumed, there he goes. Now put him back to the main, recognizing that the drop threat is there.
All right, MarineKing still has that Ignite Afterburner ability on that medevac. Look out for that. He can still try to get by and try to do something, but Jjakji looks perfectly prepared. Deja vu from game number 1. MarineKing going to be shoved out of there. And again, behind this, doing pretty much the same thing, making a Raven, I think he's going to have a tank in production fairly soon. Yeah, it looks like he already has one on the field, and there's a second one on the way. So, you know, MarineKing going for a similar push. It's like, it feels like he's done this build in the past, and he hasn't lost with it. He's like, Jjakji, how the heck did you beat me in game 1? I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to win. We'll have to see if it works out here for MarineKing.
Oh, launching a kind of a scouting medevac around Jjakji's base, trying to see what he's doing. One difference here is Jjakji did not get that Viking this game. This game instead, he got the much faster medevac, launching a counter drop of his own along the left side. SV pokes out in front of the base, sees the MarineKing's forces established there. Jjakji's got to be ready to defend.
There's no tank here for Jjakji yet.
Oh, it's almost done, but not quite ready. Can MarineKing hit before that tank finishes? Can the bunker hold? Jjakji, of course, without the 4 Hellions in his defense because they're still in that medevac crossing the field.
Jjakji very confident, pulling some SCVs here to repair this bunker as that medevac is heading for MarineKing's base. MarineKing, again, investing so much into this push, placing down a command center behind this, so has a backup plan, but I feel like once his second tank gets add-on, he's going to go for it. But here comes the medevac into MarineKing's main base. At the same time, MarineKing going to be attacking into the natural expansion. The bunker trying to hold Hellions, trying to get a line onto those SCVs and Marines, but the tank trying to target the bunker. The bunker staying alive once again, and Jjakji is going to hold.
Great defense here by Jjakji. Yet again, the siege mode tank forcing MarineKing to run into the range of the bunker and take it out. The Hellion drop on the other hand, MarineKing's defending a little bit better, but SCVs are lining up.
The Hellions going after those SCVs. Great splitting there from MarineKing. I expect nothing less. Going to be loaded up going to the natural, but realizing, oh, well, there's nothing there, and he's just going to fly on. Well, he's going to kill that SCV.
Yeah, killing that SCV is a nice little win there. Slows down that expansion by a good maybe 20 seconds here. Not to mention, in fact, that slows down the orbital command. It just puts a big crimp into MarineKing's follow-up plans.
Oh, he's going straight back to the main, and there's no units here. The SCV is going to try to run again. The Hellion's trying to get those money shots off into that mineral line. One Hellion goes down, and it looks like the other one should be picked up. Oh, he's going to die too, but damage has been done.
MarineKing still has the Banshee, though, in Jjakji's main pavilion. They're getting 6 kills. Viking going to push it out, 7 kills. Looking very similar to last game. MarineKing trying to get something done at the front as well. Jjakji more than prepared with the bunker and siege tank defense.
Did we all go through some sort of time portal? Because this feels like exactly the same game.
It really does. Looking very similar. Jjakji, even with the same follow-up, getting plenty of barracks cranking. Tech Lab is finishing, so he's sure to start stem very soon. A little bit different, though, is Jjakji's getting a 3rd command center, and he's staying in his base for now. Yeah. Perhaps realizing that he didn't get that big, you know, when he crushed MarineKing's attack, he didn't crush it quite as much as he did in the last game, perhaps. So maybe he's saying, you know what, let's play more macro-focused, take into a long game. Both players taking 3rd command center. But Jjakji with a commanding lead, much more supply, a significant advantage in the worker count as well.
Yeah, 37 to 22 in that harvester count, 80 to 47 in supply, and again has that 3rd command center on the field. MarineKing just now dropping down his 3rd command center as well, so not going to be too far behind as far as that's concerned. But you know, TPT, as far as comeback ability is concerned, it's definitely doable because a lot of aggression relies on the defensive position of your opponent. If they have nicely placed siege tanks defending, or defending a choke point, then you're going to be crazy if you're going to try to run through there. So look out for Jjakji either A, to try to really just spread out MarineKing, maybe attacking to the main with some drops, attacking to the natural with a drop while attacking through the front, or maybe even try to set a contain outside of an additional expansion while taking a 3rd of his own, right? So if he takes a 3rd base and then tries to set up a contain so that MarineKing can't necessarily secure a 3rd, that could be something that Jjakji can definitely do to retain his lead. But MarineKing can definitely come back here.
He definitely can. The one thing he's going to have to contend with is Jjakji's had his 2nd and 3rd barracks up for so much longer than MarineKing. The Marine count is really in Jjakji's favor. He's also got double E-bays being produced here now, so he's going to work on an upgrade advantage as well. He's pushing out from the front here, going to try to get MarineKing distracted by the frontal attack while this medevac sneaks in back.
Yeah, great tactics here from Jjakji again. Going to try to distract MarineKing with that drop in the main, but MarineKing has some units there, so it looks like he's well aware of what's going on or has an idea of what's going on.
But look at the front.
Yeah, that's a lot of Marines, a lot of tanks coming forward here from Jjakji, and only 2 tanks holding the front. MarineKing sending some Marines back, but now Jjakji going in with Ignite Afterburners into that main base, going to be dropping some Marines at that mineral line. Jjakji heading for that 3rd base, seeing nothing there, but going to get maybe a couple SCV kills before MarineKing retreats to try to deal with this.
He's actually getting more and more. MarineKing sent his SCVs back, figuring the tank would deal with the Marines, but Jjakji's and Marines say, we don't care about the tank, we're going to get some kills anyway. finally looks like they're about to be cleaned up, but a lot of SCVs have gone down. Meanwhile, crushing through MarineKing's defense in the front when MarineKing retreats to defend the main.
The positioning on these tanks are perfect. How is MarineKing going to leave his main without getting exploded by those siege tanks? He has to pass through that ramp. The tanks are in range of that ramp, and now MarineKing has to try to defend his natural from his main. He might even have to lift this off. If Jjakji plays this right, he'll bill away some Marines, and MarineKing is forced to GG. Jjakji taking game number 2.